In the kitchen celebrating strawberry season. There certainly is a lot to celebrate because strawberries this time of year are absolutely delicious. So we're going to start with Tinky Weisblat, food writer at tinkykooks.com. We're making a delicious strawberry chipotle sauce. I haven't tried it yet, but if you're making it, I know it's delicious.
Oh, well, bless your heart. I love it because I love always to, well, not always, I mean later we're eating just sweet, but I like the combination of sweet and tart or sweet and spicy. In this case, it's sweet and smoky because a chipotle, I just gave it away, is
a jalapeno
that has been smoked.
Aha, I never knew that.
It gets much more dimension and interesting flavor from being smoked. So we're starting out, it's very similar to strawberry jam. The big difference is the chipotles, and I've just chopped up, these are the chipotles in adobo that you can get at most supermarkets. It doesn't have to be this brand. Any brand is fine. Good, so, good, because I'm not holding it up very well.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. So you can get, well, it's good to let people know how they can look for it, because it's one thing if you show them that this is what goes into it, but when they're in the grocery store, they need to know how to look for it.
They're usually in the Latin food section.
Right. Okay. So then you can just get them in the can, and they're already smoked. You don't have to do it yourself. The chipotles come already ready to go.
You can also get chipotle, pardon me as I move my stuff here for a minute. You can also get it in a powder form, but for this kind of thing, it's nice to have the adobo.
Okay. So what have you started doing with the strawberries?
I started doing, because I have to confess that I forgot the made version, so we've already started.
That's okay.
The first thing I did when I got here this morning, like an hour ago, was I put strawberries and sugar and a little lemon juice in a pot. And what happens when you do that, as you'll see in a minute with our rhubarb, is that the strawberries juice up. You don't have to add any liquid beyond the lemon juice.
You didn't?
No, you don't add any liquid. Look how juicy and liquidy they are. You can see it on the camera.
I thought for sure you added some water to it.
No, just a tablespoonful of lemon juice. Now that they're soft, we're going to add more sugar. Don't look. Lots of sugar. It's a total of 1.5 cups of sugar, and you can cut down on it if you want. I really love the way the sugar makes both the strawberries and the jalapenos pop, and as you'll see later when we taste this, you don't really eat a lot of it.
Right, and it is, you can use a natural, all natural sugar, so nothing artificial, and there's like coconut sugar you could use too, I'm sure, that would give it the sweetness.
I haven't tried that, but it would be worth a try.
And
now I just put in a little, the reason I put the butter in is that the sugar, as you may, I don't know how much jam you make. But
me? None.
None.
I open jars.
Okay.
That's what I do.
So the sugar tends to fuzz a lot, and you don't want it to fuzz too much.
Wait, fuzz?
It makes this, you can see a little bit of it. Fuzziness.
When I think of a fuzz, I think of like a teddy bear.
It's like a foam.
Oh, a foam. Okay, gotcha.
Wrong word.
Okay.
So the butter keeps it from over foaming.
I gotcha.
Now we're going to add our jalapenos. Would you like to just throw those in with a knife, please?
You bet I will. And I notice there's a lot of seeds, so these would be really spicy.
They're not too spicy. I'm using 2, and I don't find it overly spicy, but you can taste it later. And then I put a little bit of the sauce from the can, because that's so good.
Okay.
And we would put in salt, but I seem to have not brought it out. So we're not going to worry about the salt. The salt only just enhances the flavor a little bit more.
Okay.
Now I'll tell you what we're going to do, and then we'll move on to starting our shortcake. But because this has to cook for about 10 to 15 minutes.
So it's going to reduce down a little?
It's going to reduce down a little. Sometimes I reduce it too much, and it's really like jam. You want it like sauce. So you want it to almost sheet off a spoon. This is obviously dripping off the spoon. I don't know if you can see my drops. And you want it at about, if you have a thermometer and want to do it that way, jam is 220 degrees. So maybe 217, 218, something like that will make you a nice sauce.
Oh, a nice thick sauce.
And then if you get energetic, you can put it in the blender. But we'll see how energetic we get.
Let's assume we're being lazy.
Well, I'm going to finish that later, and we're going to start, because we're going to be concentrating on shortcake later. We're going to start on our rhubarb. Now with the rhubarb, I did exactly the same thing.
And we know you love rhubarb so much that your feline is named Rhubarb, right?
Miss Rhubarb. I hope she's watching.
I'm sure she is. How could she miss you on TV? So what have you done there? Just chopped up some rhubarb?
Same thing, chopped up rhubarb, put in, this is 3 cups of rhubarb and 1/2 cup of sugar and a little lemon juice.
Okay.
And again, you can see that it hasn't juiced up a lot yet, but as I stir it and heat it, it will juice, and then we'll cook it for 5 minutes, and then what we're going to have is a nice soft rhubarb sauce that we're going to use with our shortcake
Oh
later.
my gosh, Tinky, I love having you here.
Oh, I love being here, Ashley, and it's going to be so
fun.
yummy.
It's so yummy.
So
I
we're going
can't
to
wait
try
to
the chipotle sauce later.
Okay.
We're gonna make our shortcake later. We've got all sorts of stuff, and
All
you've got
sorts of stuff.
other people here.
Yes, exactly. So it's a party. We've also got in the next room 22 News Storm Team. We're back in the kitchen with Tinky Weisblat, food writer at TinkyCooks.com. We're dancing. We're also finishing up our strawberry-rhubarb shortcake, and you finished the strawberry chipotle sauce.
Yeah, I want you to try it.
Okay.
I spread out a cracker. It's a little on the spicy side, so put it on the cracker. But if you only have a little dab of it, I think
that
it's
too much?
quite. We'll see what you think.
Okay, well, should I have water standing by? All right.
I think you'll be all right. We'll find out. Prepare for this is live TV.
Oh my gosh, that is so good.
Isn't it good? Mm-hmm. Are you all right?
I'm fine. It is delicious.
Okay, we're going to move on. I'm whipping cream here. And I should tell you before we go on that people having opened that can of Chipotles might wonder what to do with it if you only use a couple in your sauce. You can put it in soups, you can put it in stews. It's really good in something where you want to have a smoky flavor but you're cooking for a vegetarian. Like I use it in corn chowder sometimes instead of bacon.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
it gives you that smoky taste and it's really good. Okay, I'm going to whip cream. It's going to be a little loud and you're going to start on the shortcake.
Okay, I don't know how to make it. You're going to tell me what to
I'm
do,
going to
right?
tell you what to do. First, you're going to whisk together the self-rising flour and the sugar. This recipe, which is really the easiest I've ever made, is from King Arthur Flour, and we're actually using their self-rising flour too, which is really good.
Okay, so this is flour and sugar, you said?
The self-rising flour and sugar, that's fine. Now you're going to make a well in the middle.
Oh,
I'm going to move
geez.
over off camera
sure?
for a minute and make noise. Okay?
Okay.
Just a little well, and then you're going to pour in that cream in the container in front of you.
Right here.
Yep.
Okay. Pour that in and just mix it all together.
Then you're going to take I would use now the wooden spoon because the stuff will stick on the whisk.
Oh, yeah. So what the point of making the well was so all of it gets in the middle?
Yeah.
Okay. I hope I'm not stressing you out. I'm not a baker,
You're not
Tinky.
stressing me out. You're doing a lovely job.
Oh, thank you.
You just want to put together your flour and your cream.
Yep.
And then as you'll notice that maybe you need a little more liquid.
Maybe.
There's a pitcher of milk to your left,
Oh,
and you're going to add a little more milk.
Okay.
But not too much.
How's that? We'll start with that.
Start with that. That's
Okay.
good. I'll keep, this is probably horribly loud. I'm sorry.
Okay, so what are you doing over there, Tinky?
I'm trying to whip cream, but it's always hard under the lights. I had the bowl in the refrigerator. We may have it with just cream.
That's okay, Tinky.
I think that'll be
you want it, but you
delicious.
want it to be, you just keep whipping until it gets, you want it to be cool.
You want it? Oh, it is cool. That's how you. Okay, I think you're there now.
Oh, okay.
Next step. If you'd like to whip cream, I can do the next step, or I can walk you through the next step.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, we'll just.
Or we can.
We'll
we're going to sprinkle some flour on the board.
Okay. More or less?
More.
Oh.
And then we're going to spread it around.
All right.
Then we're going to take our lump of dough.
And do you need to let your dough cool at all?
It just sits. It's not hot.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it will be hot when we put it in the oven.
Right. Of course.
And I'm going to show you how easy this is, because this is why I like it. Thank you, King Arthur Flour, for the recipe. My normal biscuit recipe is much more complicated.
Oh.
And you roll it. And this one, we're just going to pat. That's enough.
All right.
So we take a little more flour, we put it
There
on
you go.
top,
Okay.
and then we pat this down.
Easy.
A little more flour, please.
Okay, yeah. Whatever you need, Tinky.
Now,
I'm just here to
the
help.
idea now is that instead of rolling, what we're doing is we're going to fold it over several times. A little more flour at the bottom, please.
So you don't need a rolling pin?
We don't need a rolling pin. We're using our hands, and what we do is we fold it over. I go up to 5 times. So this is number 2 or 3. I can't even remember.
That's all right. I'm sure it'll be okay if we do 6
And
times.
yeah, what it does is it makes layers of pastry when it goes in the oven.
Oh.
So that it rises in little layers. It makes it easier to split open. I think we're almost there. See how was that easy?
Yeah, that was really
Now
easy.
I just use my hand to push it out.
So you fold to make all the layers, and
Fold
then
to
you
make the
pat
layers,
it
and then
down.
you pat it down. No need for a rolling pin.
Okay.
And
Got
then
it.
it is preferable to have a real biscuit cutter rather than a glass. And if your biscuit cutter's a little, what's the word I'm looking for, sticky, you can see that I'm dipping it. Well, maybe you can see it now. Yeah, I'm dipping it in a little flour.
Okay. You could use a cookie cutter.
You could use a cookie cutter as long as it's nice and sharp.
Okay.
And then it makes these nice little rounds.
So then, once you do that,
yes,
you put them in the oven for how long, at what temperature?
We put them in the oven, 425 oven for 12 to 16 minutes.
Okay.
And then they come out. Would you like to? Of course.
I hope that they do come out because we want to eat them.
Yes.
I'll get them for you.
You get them, and I will continue whipping cream as assiduously as I can.
So these could be used just for like a dinner roll too, right?
The only thing I forgot to tell you that I haven't done yet is what's really fun to do with them, and what I did, you can kind of see them.
They're sparkling.
You brush them with melted butter, and then you put a little, pardon, my hat is in the way of the picture. I'm sorry.
Oh, we can see.
Breasts are in the way. Okay, now we have sparkling sugar that you can just, anyway, you'll see it later.
Sparkling white sugar.
Sprinkle it on top, and it gives them a crunchy outside. If you're using them for dinner rolls, not so much.
So then, to assemble our strawberry shortcake, we've got our little biscuits.
We've got our biscuits. I'm going to cut open a biscuit.
And then your strawberry.
You've got your strawberries, and you've got rhubarb. You want to do one?
And then your whipped cream.
Well, so allegedly whipped
That's
cream.
okay. And when you whip it all up, you put it on a plate, and you're ready to go.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're going to make one right here.
We're going to make one right here with almost whipped cream.
So here we go.
And in the recipe online, it says to fold some berries into the rhubarb, but I would sort of do it as you like, because then you can figure out how much you want.
Okay.
Personally, this is what I would do.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, see, generally the idea about shortcake is you make a top. What I do is I make one side strawberry, one side rhubarb. They're the strawberries.
Oh, that's all rhubarb.
And then I just put whipped cream on top, so you have more whipped fruit and whipped cream. But
Okay,
you can
very
also
good.
make a whole assembly.
Okay, so we're going to assemble it all together. Tinky, thanks so much. We're going to have the recipe on our website so you can make this at home.
My pleasure.
Happy
Happy strawberry season.
Yay! Coming up on the show.